the crowd in attendance here tonight firmly in support of Bola Omeyele. We've got a middleweight contest here, contested over 3 5-minute rounds.
Ready?
Contested over 3 5-minute rounds.
Fight!
Phoenix MMA rules. I'm Sensei Will Vanders, joined by Brad Walton. And Brad, One Punch Pickett.
You can just see how relaxed Rimbon is. That shows how many fights he's had, and he's been in there with the who's who of MMA. You know, he's very, very relaxed. That could be, you know, you can't sleep on Bola. He's got very, very strong and fast hands.
Yeah, Bola really can do damage with just a small number of shots, or even the single big winged overhand right. What you absolutely don't want Bola Omeyele is on top of you in your guard, just hammering down with hammer fists and elbows.
Well, you get the sense of impending danger with this bout. This is not the sparky, bright start that we've seen in earlier bouts. This is a very slow and cautious, dangerous air this bout has beginning here, because, as has been rightly pointed out to me, both very dangerous men.
Yeah, you see that they're both very cautious. There's a lot of respect here, but I can see maybe just one punch or one kick may just turn this fight on its head.
Omeyele, a slight height advantage, and it looks like a slight reach advantage. That's not going to make any difference, of course, to Moise Rimbon, who's going to walk through anything. But just a slight height advantage for Omeyele. That might give him the edge, just looking for margins here that are going to make a difference.
I can see Bola going for the low calf kick. There's been in the sport very slowly. That's a great thing about mixed martial arts. It's always changing. You know, it has such a limited rule set, so it gives you more expression to showcase new skills. And this calf kick, you saw it obviously in the Gilbert Melendez fight with Stevenson. You know, so like, it's a new technique was coming in, and we've been using a lot at our gym down at Team Titan, and it's been working really well.
Well, we're 2 minutes in, and still got to see some liveliness going on here. Our referee, Blake Grice, just watching very closely, because, as you say, it could explode here at any point.
Yeah, it doesn't take much of a knock from Bola to really throw you off balance or put you on the seat of your pants, and yeah, he really does look like a coiled spring here. Nice trip takedown though from Rimbon. Veteran technique there from the Frenchman.
Yeah, unfortunately, Bola was doing the calf kick really well, and then he decided to go for one a little bit higher, and he got taken down. But he's going for a triangle here. Slammed by Rimbon to get out of it. Really good job here, but Bola maybe looking this. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, he's going back for a triangle. He's got good wrist control here. Maybe he could try and. He's actually a blue belt, a purple belt, sorry, Carlos.
Well, the danger was there. Just for a fleeting second, we saw a glimpse of what could happen. And boy, oh boy, it was dangerous. Dealt with very, very well by Moise Rimbon. The skill and the expertise and, of course, the experience came to play here. But it goes to the ground, and, of course, we start to unpick the locks.
Well, it's exactly as you say, Will. It's that veteran experience that really turned the tables there. You know, you can train with whoever you want, you can fight with whoever you want, you can spend as much on training and supplements as you possibly can, but you cannot put a price on that in-ring or in-cage experience that Rimbon has. Let's not make no mistake, Omeyele has been in there with some top guys and is a very experienced fighter himself.
Omeyele just put on his back there by Rimbon, and it was very deftly done. There wasn't any grimacing, there wasn't a power move there. That was technique.
He done a great job of originally using his butterfly hooks to get him back to his feet, but Rimbon straight away grabbed the high C and sent him crashing back down to the mat. Now, Bola here now is attacking the neck here. I don't think he's going to get it, but sometimes with doing this, it makes people defend it, and when you defend it, you're not holding the legs, and it helps you get up.
Looking to put a squeeze on the neck briefly there was Omeyele. Didn't quite have the leverage, and with your opponent on top in side control, almost impossible to finish any kind of choke. Omeyele looking to get back to his feet here. Rimbon trying to crush him up against that corner post and just take a couple of directions away from him. Rimbon trying to take the back now though, Brad.
Yeah, it's going to be, well, normally in this position, it's really hard to take the back because the cage is in the way, but it might be a little bit easier now with the ring. You may get your leg through those ropes.
Well, it was love's labour's lost there. Rimbon trying to get an arm just underneath the chin of Omeyele. Didn't quite make it work. In the corner, the clock's ticking away. We're on the 10-second clapper now. Nothing meaningful before the end of the round. Or will we see some submission territory being exposed here? And look at this as Rimbon puts the squeeze on. Saved by the bell. Bola Omeyele really was in a tight squeeze there, and make no mistake,
yeah, it wasn't under the chin, but it was a neck cranker. Extremely painful and unpleasant situation to be in. Let's take a look back now at some of the action from the opening round. It was a tentative start, but then we see that beautiful catch and trip, and that turned the tables in favour of the Frenchman.
Yeah, I'd definitely like to see Bola this round going back to the calf kick. Like we said, we just saw in the replay there, he tried to go a little bit higher and got his kick caught and then ended up on the canvas. You know, and Rimbon there kept his man down for the rest of that round.
Yeah, it looked like he was going for a short choke there and just switched to the bar across the face and cranked his man's neck. Very unpleasant position to be in. And it's going to be interesting to see how Bola comes out in this second round. Moise Rimbon's been competing since the days of the one-night tournament, so we know he's got gas in the tank to go into the second and the third. Let's see if Bola's been able to make those adjustments. As you said, Brad, he's moved up to the middleweight division for this one.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting, because this is where Bola, in previous fights where he was doing so well in the first round, started to fade. But this one, he got put up against it in that first round, so it's nice to see how he gets back this round. Big
so
overhand
two
right.
of the scheduled three just commencing now, and as you said, Brad, a big overhand right to open proceedings. Bola Omeyele in the white gloves, Moise Rimbon in the black.
Yeah, Rimbon having to eat a couple of strikes here. Bola's mixing things up. There was no sting on that kick from Rimbon at all, and Bola looking to be a little bit more aggressive now.
Yeah, he got a couple of successful calf kicks in there. Yeah, I mean, like, I really want to keep going on about it, but man, I wish he keeps throwing those, because they're doing damage. People don't realize you get trained for years and years getting kicked in the thigh. You're not used to getting kicked in that calf muscle.
Omeyele took one to the body there. It'll be interesting to see if Rimbon starts targeting the body more and more as the fight wears on.
Well, in the upright, they're both just a little bit too relaxed about the work here, and there's a little bit of a soon-come attitude in most of these strikes. They need to brighten it up, and Omeyele, from my lips to his ears, then immediately comes in behind some heavy hands. But both fighters still seeking, still searching, still trying to find that little gap. The good left hand straight through the middle there from Omeyele, but they're both testing, still trying to find a gap.
I think this pace of fight is definitely going to favour Bola. You know, just be able to pick him off with it. He's got a very good jab, and that little low kick that he's been doing is scoring points. But that's a big overhand right. He's got to be very wary if he throws a lazy jab that Rimbon coming over the top with an overhand right.
I have to say, it's interesting, Rimbon just took it up a notch there and then took it back down again. So I don't know how much of this relaxed attitude is strategy, or really how much of it is to recover breath, or what. But you can never, ever trust a fighter like Rimbon, and just anything that Rimbon is doing here is very much coming to my parlour, said the spider to the fly. And Omeyele is very, very wise to be cautious. Spinning back fist, heavy, heavy, heavy shots. That would have made his hair hurt if it landed.
Well, you saw Rimbon just dropping his hands there. Looks like he's perhaps trying to bait Omeyele in. But there aren't too many middleweights that are going to fare well standing straight in front of Bola when he's barreling forward like that.
Let's go, boys, fight.
Referee having a word. There's a single leg shoot, and Omeyele successful with that takedown. The single leg really proving very, very successful for him.
It's actually a really good transition from a single leg to a double leg, you know, took him down to the mat. But Rimbon doing a good job to reverse this round now. Really, you don't want to be on the back now. Bola needs to, like I say, try and use these ropes to stand back up. But Rimbon has really good wrist control. It's going to make that really difficult for him.
Yeah, easier said than done, and perhaps the referee taking a look at this one, and he does. He's going to reset them in the center of the ring.
It's going to be a tricky one. I don't know how you can replicate that position.
We have had situations before where the referee hasn't been able to recreate the position, and it's ended up just being a standing restart. And we see a bit of deliberation going on here between the referee and the fighters. The referee's word will, of course, be final. He's got them in a satisfactory spot, and we're back underway. Bola trying to perhaps sprawl his way out of this one, but he's stuck with Rimbon's upper body on top of his. Not a great position to be in. Looking to take the back there was Rimbon. Omeyele able to roll to his. Gives up side control. Got to be careful of a Kimura here. Rimbon attacking that arm already.
Yeah, Bola started the round so promising, but now looking at Rimbon trying to, you know, change the tide here in this round. Not searching for that Kimura, but even so, just still keeping his weight. Maybe going for a crucifix. But Bola's using that as an opportunity to maybe get to his feet, maybe giving up his back.
I saw a little flash, you know, just earlier on of how Rimbon just upped the pace, just changed dynamic, and then took it back. It was almost a glimpse of what was to be. Now we're seeing in the second round, Rimbon just much more aggressive, just much more articulate in what he's doing, and some serious intent going on here. And maybe Omeyele misread what was passive in the first round, and maybe that's going to cause problems for him.
Well, he's going to watch that Americana there. This could be a very awkward position for Bola. He's able to get on top. He needs to pull his arm out. It looks like he's out of danger here, Brad.
Yeah, a key lock for me is one of those really old submissions now that are really hard to pull off, which you can, if you don't do it right, gives you a really bad position.
Well, there's a transition to an armbar from it, which we sometimes see slightly more common in mixed martial arts. I wonder if Omeyele has had his arm jacked a little bit there.
Possibly. You see Bola now really struggling at the end of this round. He's, you know, heavy breathing. You know, you see Rimbon looks a little bit more composed in his corner.
Very interesting to see there. It looked like Rimbon caught a kick on his finger, and it looked like he gestured to his finger, perhaps a dislocation there. The referee didn't see it, didn't break the action, and the exchange continued. Very interesting to see if Rimbon's perhaps popped a finger out. Looked like he wasn't feeling any trouble from it here as he attempted that submission late in the round there, Brad.
Yeah, like I said, he went for that key lock. It looks really tight, but it's one of those older submissions that kind of like moved away from the game a little bit now.
Well, just looking at the corner of Omeyele, and it's not happiness and smiles. The Omeyele not looking lemon fresh. I don't know whether he's going to be able to come out for the third. This could be a disaster, but yeah, grimacing. He's ready to go, and we go to three of the three rounds.
Fight! Yeah, this kind of makes me feel a little bit they hasn't really escaped the problem they had in the past. You know, sometimes his body in those previous fights just shuts down on him. He's such a tough competitor and stays in there. But it's just when you don't have anything in the gas tank, you put a baby on top of you and you can't do nothing.
Exactly. We just saw the leg went up there from Rimbon. He's still determined to bring in some of these high kicks, but immediately he's gone to work here.
Yeah, head and arm choke coming from Rimbon. It's over.
Well, there it is. It's the tap out. My goodness gracious me, Moise Rimbon in the opening seconds of the last round. Bola Omeyele almost trance-like taken into that choke.
You know, with all due respect to Bola there, I think he'd submitted between rounds in that one. It just looked like perhaps, as you said, Brad, his body had failed him again. The head and arm choke went on from Moise Rimbon. Usually you look for the attacking fighter to step over to the other side of his opponent's body. He didn't need to. He applied the big squeeze, and that was all she wrote.
Yeah, you can see Bola didn't even fight and attempt it. You can't really finish the arm triangle from this position, really. I think that was more of his body shutting down on him, and they had to get out there, you know.
Well, it was a complete shutdown, and I have to say, what a great intervention there from referee Blake Grice, because for just a second there, Bola Omeyele looked as if he was in good shape, but then in the blink of an eye, well, referee saw that it wasn't good, and that was a really, really vicious attack, wasn't it? Unbelievably put on that lock. I mean, real expertise there from Rimbon. So, no doubt in our minds here as to the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 23 seconds of the final round, we have a winner by way of tap out to arm triangle choke, Moise Rimbon!
All credit to Moise Rimbon with a fantastic submission victory there. We talked about him being a veteran, and you just cannot give a veteran like Rimbon an inch, because as we've seen, he will take a mile. Of course, commiserations for Bola Omeyele. He'll have to once again go back to the drawing board and see if he can't sort out these issues outside of the cage before we see him stepping in there again.
I have to say, at the beginning of the third round, I looked at his corner and he wasn't happy. He just didn't look completely comfortable, but you can't take anything away from Moise Rimbon. That was a technical takeout.